In a forgotten village surrounded by dusty fields lived a young man named Aarav Khan, a quiet dreamer who believed that even the smallest person could make a big difference. He wasn't rich or highly educated, but he had a heart that refused to stop trying. Every morning he walked through the same narrow lanes where people often laughed at him, calling him the boy who wasted time playing with junk. But Aarav never replied. He just smiled and went to his tiny tin-roofed shed that served as his workshop. Inside were broken parts, rusted wires, and scattered tools. Where others saw useless things, Aarav saw possibility. His mother worried about him every day, telling him to find a real job. But Aarav would only answer softly that he wasn't trying to fix the whole world, only one small piece of it. Then one summer, a terrible drought hit the village. The river dried up, wells cracked, and the people suffered. Women walked for miles to fetch muddy water, and children fainted under the burning sun. Aarav watched his mother cough as she carried a heavy pot of water home. That moment changed him. He looked at the broken hand pump near the village square, covered in dust and cobwebs, and decided he would make it work again. That night, he sat under a dim lantern and whispered to himself, "Nobody is perfect, but someone has to try." He began sketching designs using scraps of paper. His hands were rough, his tools old, but his will was stronger than ever. From sunrise to sunset, he worked, digging near the broken pump, repairing old pipes, and joining metal pieces with nothing but faith and determination. The villagers mocked him as usual. Some called him crazy, others told him to give up. But Aarav kept going, sweating under the harsh sun, his fingers bleeding from constant effort. Days turned into weeks. He often went hungry, saving what little food he had for his mother. Then one morning his childhood friend Mira came to see him. She handed him a jar of water and said, "Why do you keep doing this when no one believes in you?" Aarav looked up with tired eyes and smiled. "I don't need everyone to believe in me," he said. "Just one success can silence 1,000 doubts." Finally, after many days of work, Aarav fixed the last bolt on the pump. His hands shook as he gripped the handle and pushed it down. At first, nothing happened. Then a loud creak, followed by a small splash. Within seconds, clean, cold water gushed out from the pipe like a miracle. The entire village froze in disbelief. Children screamed with joy, women cried and filled their pots, and men clapped in astonishment. Aarav fell to his knees as tears rolled down his face. Mira laughed and shouted, "You did it, you fool!" Aarav looked up and whispered, "No, we did it." News spread quickly. Reporters came, and Aarav's invention was featured in local papers as the boy who brought life back to his village. But for Aarav, the greatest reward wasn't fame. It was watching his mother smile proudly as she filled her pot from the same pump that once stood broken. Months later, he built a small shed where he taught children to repair tools and understand machines. At the entrance, he placed a wooden sign that read, "Learn, build, change." He wanted others to dream bigger, just as he once did when nobody believed in him. One evening, Mira asked him if he ever wished he had left the village for a better life. Aarav looked at the green fields and replied, "Why leave the place that needed me the most?" Years passed, and the drought never returned. Aarav's design was adopted by nearby villages, and he became known as the Mechanic of Hope. He never sought glory, but his work touched hundreds of lives. On a peaceful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Aarav sat outside his shed, listening to the laughter of children and the steady sound of flowing water. The sky turned orange, and the warm wind carried a sense of peace that only comes after struggle. Aarav smiled and whispered, "Nobody is perfect, but the world doesn't need perfection. It needs people who care enough to try." And that was the legacy he left behind. Proof that greatness doesn't come from money or fame, but from courage, heart, and the will to make a difference.